Happy Sunday, everyone. Ready to do our thing as usual. Our next episode of Chat E. Guys, we are booked out for the next couple months, which is really, I can't even say months. For the next couple months, which is really exciting, and have some great guests coming up. So please be on the lookout. Let's do this thing. There we go. I don't understand the pineapple thing. The other day you were on mango. I meant to ask what that meant. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. I'm so glad that we're going to have an opportunity to talk tonight and
Yes.
learn about you and your business.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I'm like super happy.
Yes, of course. You're so welcome. So I'm going to start out just by giving a little intro, and then I will let you get started. So hi, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Chat E, which is an opportunity for young professionals and entrepreneurs to just share with you about what they're up to, how they got their businesses started, what encouraged them to go after their dreams, and what's keeping them from stopping doing that. My guest this evening is the wonderful Shelby Acosta, who is the creator and founder of Snowy Aspen Creations. And tonight we are going to learn her story, find out how she got started, what her gig is right now, what she's up to, and just how she's built something amazing over the course of time. So like I said, so honored to have you and can't wait to learn about your business further.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like you said, I'm so excited to be here. I am a small business owner, like many people, especially during this pandemic, everyone wanted to, get their business going, and I'm just excited to be able to, kind of share my story.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to just kind of explain what Snowy Aspen Creations are, and then that actually led me in very well what you just said to my next question. So go ahead and go.
Yeah. So Snowy Aspen Creations is my kind of version of my fiber art business. Anything to do with yarn, anything to do with, handmade stuff, whether it's a little project I made on the side, or it's making blankets and hats and stuff like that. I have been doing this for a few years now and normally do markets and stuff like that. This is the first year that I've really done more online sales.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also that has a lot to do with COVID and,
Totally.
me being able to sit at home and, and get some stock done and stuff like
sure.
that. But it's definitely a business that I have, worked with and am familiar with, having businesses, because I also have owned other businesses before. And
cool.
I just think I'm more passionate about this one because it's something that I like to do. So that's why I'm continuing with it.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome. Your yarn wall behind you, I've seen it in your pictures and videos, but it's like mesmerizing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's so much. I have way too much yarn.
Oh my gosh, but I would just be so excited every time I came in. I would literally be so
I know. During COVID, like, I had more yarn than some of the stores. So I was like, you can shop at my house, but like not really, because I have everything. I'm like, I want to do this with this and this with this, and yeah, it's a mess.
So cool. Well, it looks really organized, and I feel like that's like necessary to make sure you can like find everything you need and all the different colors, but it looks really aesthetically pleasing for sure.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, of course, you're welcome. So you said that you've had a couple businesses before in the past, and this is one that stuck because you're passionate about it. How did you learn how to or get into crocheting and just making things with yarn?
Yeah, so I started crocheting because of one of my best friends that actually just lives up the way from me. And I kept going to her house and seeing all these crocheted blankets and all these like cool things. And I was like, this is so cool. She's like, yeah, I made it. And I was like, what, you made this?
Right.
And she's like, yeah. And I was like, but isn't like crochet and knitting like grandma stuff? Like,
totally, yeah.
Like this doesn't look like grandma stuff. What is this? And it was just like these elaborate designs and mandala patterns. And, she's like, yeah, and I made these hats and I made this. And I was like, what? Like, right. You need to teach me this. Like, I've always been crafty. I've always been into something craft-like,
Mm-hmm.
I did scrapbooking and other stuff, but like, I've always, kind of jumped around with it. And I asked her, I was like, can you please teach me how to do this? Because like, I want to learn how to do this. And she's like, you're going to hate me, but I cannot teach you. And I was like, why? Please teach me. Please teach me. She's like, the best thing I'm going to do for you is this. And she handed me a 5mm hook and a ball of yarn and said, go to YouTube and make a granny square. And I was like, but I told you I didn't want to do the grandma stuff. And she's like, just do it. Trust me, you're going to get the hang of it, and then you can move forward. And it just grew from there. It like grew from me not being able to read patterns and just doing video tutorials to all the way up to me creating patterns. So it's
Okay.
definitely self-taught, but it was inspired definitely from one of my best friends. So yeah.
That's really cool. No, that's an awesome story to tell, and the fact that you've stuck with it and now it's grown into something so successful is really cool. I've tried to crochet before. I've definitely, I think, did it. My grandma can crochet. Funny, but she definitely taught me when we were little, my sister and I. And I was fine with it. But I tried recently. I'm a teacher, and so I have a student who is really good at it, and she tried to show me how. And I think it's also because her brain just like she knows how to do it. She was just moving so quickly, and she's like 11, so like she was moving so quickly to kind of like show me what to do, and I was like, try again. Like, we had to do it a couple times because it is hard. And
Yeah.
so because she already is like so equipped to move so quickly, it was definitely very tricky. But
Yeah, you definitely have to be like one of those people that's like really good with teaching it, because if you're not, it's very hard to teach someone unless you know how to teach it or you practice how to teach it, because it's so hard to teach someone. Like I was trying to teach my kids how to chain, which is the most
right,
basic thing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose it. Like,
right.
so, and I'm a pretty patient person.
Yeah, that was the word I was going to use too. I feel like you have to be super patient because some people will catch on and just their hands will start moving really quickly, and other people like me, not necessarily.
Exactly.
So she's like, start with the hook, and I was like, I don't even know what that means. I'm trying, or
There's
like
something
some.
there.
Yeah, we didn't get very far, but that's okay. We'll have to try again another time. So you kind of went into it a little bit, but what type of products have you come out with Snowy Aspen Creations?
Yeah, so I have had Snowy Aspen Creations for a couple years now, and I've done markets and stuff like that. But
They're so fun.
I've always stuck to like beanies and head wraps and very fall and wintry items. But then I do have like a whole separate summer side, which comes like spring, summer. So I've made everything. I've made the little stuffed animals that are called amigurumis. I've made blankets. I made pillows. I made washcloths. I made home like reusable water balloons. I made so much things that like pretty
That's so
much
cool.
anything out of yarn, if it has a pattern, I can figure it out. So I I definitely have seen what sells and what doesn't, and what I like making, what I don't like making,
Sure,
because there's nothing worse than having to make like 100 of something that you don't like to make. So
sure, for
that's
sure.
not something that I'm gonna do. I've made an amigurumi or two, which are the little stuffed animals, but that's not my thing. That's not what I enjoy doing. So it's not what I offer in my shop, but it's basically, wearables and blankets. I love blankets. So yeah, I make all kinds of stuff.
That's so
And new
good. That's
stuff coming out and coming out. It's fun to invent stuff. I think that's my favorite thing. Everyone asks me, what's your favorite thing to make? And I'm just like, my favorite thing is like coming up with new stuff and making new stuff and making something new or different or changing something. So I think that I don't like being stuck in the same thing.
Yeah. Hmm. And I think that's like one of the really cool things about working for yourself and kind of having your own business is that you're not, like you're your own boss, and so you can figure it out. And like you said, figuring out what works and then what doesn't is huge. A reusable water balloon sounds
Exactly.
so cool. Don't even know exactly what that means, but I want to check that out or learn more about
Yeah.
that. That sounds so cool. And I also think, well, the blankets, all of it is just so customizable. And I think
Mm-hmm.
working with yarn is like very cool. Like I said, mesmerized by your wall, but it's because I can see there's so many patterns and like colors and texture,
Textures. Yeah.
right? Like all so different. So to be able to do that is very cool. And also, I feel like you said doing different things seasonally, you have to, because in the summer, people aren't going to be wearing things that are as thick.
Beanies and yep, and
Right.
scarves and stuff like that. Yeah. It's fun to transition, but at the same time, you always have your go-to. Like I love making these head wraps and stuff. Bless you.
Thank you. Just trying not to.
I love making all that kind of stuff, and it is hard to kind of transition. But I am excited to, kind of figure out some new things and try out new patterns every year. So it is fun transitioning like seasons and stuff like that. So yeah.
Definitely, and like watching your business grow to feel like this year, because I feel like trends change and switch around so often too, that one year
Absolutely.
certain things might be really popular and the next summer they are to an extent, but you need to try something new. So being
Exactly.
able to have that flexibility to kind of be creative, I think is really important and really cool.
Yeah, I'm blessed for sure to be able to do that.
Yeah, totally. So when it comes to starting your own business, sometimes things can get kind of expensive. And this is a question a lot of like viewers are often curious about and wondering.
Mhm.
But when you decided, you said you had like a couple businesses before, but when you decided to launch this business, did you kind of like use just like some saved money to kind of like invest into what you were going to do? Or did you like create your own fund, just because yeah, you have to invest in yourself to be successful, but you also like sometimes it can get really expensive, especially when you're stocking up on all the things and materials that you
Yeah,
need.
absolutely. Like I said, I started with one ball of yarn and it kind of moved up from there. And then I started like making gifts for people. And then I was like, this is something I really enjoy. I really want to do, and I really want to make
Right.
stuff. And it's something I think that can be profitable.
Totally.
So it was definitely like time that kind of got me here, building up my stash of yarn
Yeah.
and hitting the sales. And it all started with like this one big sale that like Hobby Lobby and Michael's had, and they had clearance, and I just went in and literally filled carts. And I bought it all at a discount price. And I did save up from a while, of having past jobs and stuff like that. And so I was able to buy like a bunch of stuff in bulk that was on clearance and stuff. And
Sure.
that's not necessarily all the stuff that I have now, but it was slowly built up over time.
Right.
Like I have an addiction to yarn, and I'm not afraid to say it. But every time I go into the store, I'm like, okay, I don't buy things full price. That I think that comes from like my couponer background.
Totally. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't buy things full price, but I definitely as for like investing in my business as a whole, a lot of the money that I've made from the business I've just reinvested into it because I see growth, and I see ability to grow with it.
Totally.
And that's why I think I've been continuing to invest into it
Yeah.
and pushing into it, because I know that it's something that I want to do, and I know that it's going to yield rewards. It just takes a while. You have to, if you have to build up your stash, if you have no initial capital to start your business, build it up slowly. Buy a roll of vinyl a week, or buy 2 rolls a month, or whatever you can
Right.
do. Start building it up so that you can get to a point where you're able to start something. Also, you don't have to have a ton of inventory to get started. All you have to do is basically, find something that someone likes or that you like making and put it out there. If there's interest in it, someone will buy it.
Totally.
And when they do buy it, that money can then be reinvested in another roll of vinyl, or, another ball of yarn. So slowly, is the way to kind of go with some things when you don't have that initial like capital to invest.
Right.
But it's definitely, kind of the way I went. And I feel like the longer amount of time you put into working for a business and working for your own business, the harder you're going to push for it to succeed.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Because you've watched it grow, and so you want to continue to do so.
Exactly.
I think that your transparency though is like really important and just cool though. Just being like, I didn't just invest everything I had in the beginning. Like you have to start small. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was a really good tip to say, just start, figure it out. And even if that means you have one ball of yarn and you make something out of it and you sell it, and then you can afford to buy another one, even if you don't profit at all
Exactly.
in the beginning, that's just kind of how it goes. And it's just like a process. So I think that, yeah, and like you said, you're going to invest so much of your money back into it too. So that's good.
Yeah.
Because crocheting, like oftentimes it's not, you probably have gotten much faster at it as you've um, started doing it, but anytime I'm doing anything artsy like that, I feel like I do it and also like watch a show or like I don't
Yeah.
know, multitask. So when you sit down and get to work, do you usually like, are you multitasking and doing stuff like that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Listening to a podcast, I feel like I wouldn't just be able to sit there and just,
Yeah,
there's
so
so much
I'm
you could do
like
at the same
right
time.
now struggling to sit here like quietly without having crochet hook in my hands, like doing something, because I'm always doing something, whether it's, you know, with the kids or, you know, watching, like I love binge watching shows, and I'll just sit there and knock out crochet stuff and
Yeah.
the knitting machine. And I have a TV. I'm looking up at my TV right now. I have a TV in my craft room. So I'm always constantly multitasking. And I think I've always been like that since I was a kid. And it also, because I'm a mom, you're automatically a multitasker because you have to be.
Sure.
So it's definitely something that I've been able to compartmentalize and, you know, kind of like, okay, I'm doing this and getting this done, and kind of, you know, my head's always going, and so my hands have to be too. So I'm very, very much a multitasker. I'm doing 20 things at once. I'm always all over the place.
And that's just the way to make it work, though. And I feel like
Yeah.
it probably runs pretty smoothly because then you just start knocking out things from all different areas at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think that if anyone saw me like sitting still for an extended period of time, they'd be like, "Are you okay? What
Yeah, right. I feel like I'm
But
like
I'm
that too.
always doing something, you know, and so I'm always going and figuring stuff out. Or even if I'm like sitting on the couch, I'm not just sitting on the couch. I'm like crocheting, or I'm
Yeah.
networking, I'm social media, you know, all that stuff. I'm finding new patterns, you know, it's
Building
just
your biz.
everywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere all the time.
Totally. Well, that's good. And I think that's important information and tips for small businesses too. It's just like, you know,
Absolutely.
you have to consistently be working to build. So that's great. So you said right now you're in your craft room and space. I feel like when you have a small business or anything that's yours, it's really important to have your own area to just come in and kind of like debrief and just do your thing. So, was that something that you had from the jump, like in the beginning you were like, okay, I need my own workspace? Like, how does that work? And you want to just share with us a little bit, maybe like how you have yourself set up?
Yeah. So originally, I did not have my craft room. I've had friends and roommates stay with me in my house for years, and I've just always been that kind of person that's like, "Oh, you need a place? Okay, come live with me."
Sure.
So like I've always been that kind of person. So I didn't have a craft room. I did have kind of a designated craft space, but then it ended up all over the house anyways. So it was just like I think it is really important now that I do have my own room and my own spot that you do have it, because not only do you focus on it more, you're like when I'm sitting in the living room and trying to get stuff done at the same time, I'm like, oh, I need to clean that. I need to pick that up. I need to do this. I need to do that.
Like
And
just
I'm not 100% like focusing on what I should be doing. And I think if you're kind of pulled away from those distractions and you're able to get away, even if it's just a corner, and literally a corner, and tape up a freaking cardboard box, because I have done that. I've taped up a cardboard box behind me and on my side so that my kids, I'm busy right now, I'm doing stuff. And that was, you know,
right.
yeah, it was just very important to not have those distractions for me, because I'm very easily distracted.
I can
You
relate.
know, so like even if it's a corner in a room, I think you should make a dedicated space, just like kids for school. They need a dedicated space where
Totally.
they can get in that mindset that, hey, this is school, this is work, this is, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Right here, this is what we're focusing on. So I think it's really important to have your own space.
No, I agree too. It's definitely. And then it's just like use space too. It's kind of like where you can escape, get your work done. And then I think especially when you have kids or, you know, other people in your house too, when you're in there, they know what you're doing. So it
Absolutely.
kind of just like gives you that time to get away to actually work. So that's good too.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any schooling or any background in entrepreneurship, or like kind of know early on that you were interested in starting your own business and working for yourself?
So I've always been very interested in entrepreneurship and being my own boss and doing my own thing. I'm very much a person that kind of, I'm like, if you tell me what to do, I'm not going to do it. So I've always been that way. I do have degrees in business management and accounting,
Okay.
with major in marketing, but that did not prepare me for being an entrepreneur. It did not prepare me for my own business. It prepared me to help run a corporation or another person's business. It did not prepare me to run my own business or be
Sure,
my
there's so
own
many little parts.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, you know, something that I did go through and get done, you know, it was just, I don't know, it didn't click right. And I was just like, okay, you know, get it done. I have the degree if I need it. But I was never really happy. I worked retail for years and years and years. And then I became, manager at a cell phone company and sales. And so I did sales for years and years and years and sold other stuff. And I've always been really good at sales. And,
Yeah.
I'm told by past bosses and stuff, like, you should be in sales. That's your thing. You should be in sales. You should be in sales. But
Right.
like, it also coincides with running your own business, because when you run your own business, you have to be the salesman, you have to be the marketer, you have to be the bookkeeper, you have to be the talent, you have to be everything behind the scenes. And then until you get to a point where you're able to have that kind of help, where you're able to have a bookkeeper come in and help you, or where you're able to have someone to come and stock your stuff,
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff. So it's like, I don't know. My degree really didn't influence me being my own business owner, in that sense. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it helped with some things. Like, I know random business facts and
right.
stuff like that, but like not much about anything else. I think the thing I use the most is the marketing, but other than that,
Yeah, no, I think starting your own business, it's such a learning curve. And when you see people, especially, younger people that are so successful, and they're like, oh my gosh, and all of a sudden, especially on TikTok and all of these different like platforms, when people are thriving, it's so exciting and great. But a lot of times people aren't talking about all the work that goes into it and just how hard it is.
Absolutely. Being able to kind of behind the scenes is a blessing and a curse, because people don't see how hard you work, but then at the same time, people don't see how much you like stress on your own self. And so
Right.
I'm grateful for them not seeing the freak out moments that I have quite often. But at the same time, I am pretty transparent with my people on TikTok and my friends and, their family. We're a community, and so I'm very transparent with them, saying, hey, I had a fucking bad day and I just, just don't feel good. And I'm going to stay here and I'm going to do this for a few minutes, but I'm going to get off and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. So
and you have to
I
do
am
that.
very transparent about that. However, I'm glad that there's kind of a disconnect, but at the same time, I am live so often on there that's like just it's a part of my life. Like, I just sit in a room and chat with 40, 50 people all the time. Like,
It's so cool.
It's fun. Yeah.
Totally. Super awesome. Yeah, very cool. I think all super important. So I'm really excited for you to talk about this actually. But so Shelby started something called the Trade With Me project, which she was sharing with me and she's posted about on TikTok. I think this is an amazing opportunity for so many young entrepreneurs and just a way to connect people, which especially is like, the big reason too why I do Chat E is to connect with new people and like get the word out about small businesses, but also just like making friends and like learning tips and giving guidance to so many other people. Yeah. So do you want to share what is the Trade With Me project?
Yeah, so basically it all began with a post I made on TikTok that kind of went viral, and it was based on the premise of, whenever I go to craft shows, I love to trade with other vendors. I am like, hey, how you doing? Check me out. I have some stuff over here. Let me know if you like anything. I love this of yours. Let me know if you would want to trade, and usually that's how it works on the craft circuit like that. You're always trading and you're like, hey, this and that. I like this, because crafty people like other crafty stuff. Like, that's just how it is.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, I was like talking to a few times on my live, and another girl, I was like, do you want to make a trade? And me and her traded. Like, we set out our trade, because her trade was taking a while to make, because she makes tumblers. But we were like, okay. And I was like, you know what? I need to post a video, because I want to be able to trade. I want other people to be able to trade. Like, I want to build this. And so basically I filmed a video. It was past midnight. I was exhausted, and I was just like, I'm going to make this video and I'm going to post it and whatever. And literally the next morning I woke up and it was just blown up, and I had so many followers. They sold out my Etsy shop 4 times in 48 hours, and it was just nuts.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like freaking out, but basically it was, I want to trade my art for some of your art. I want to be able to have a piece of your artwork. And not only that, is that we can grow together by being able to do those trades and making them public, like
Totally.
posting about it and talking about it, like, hey, I love this person's art. This is what I got from them. You need to see this because this is amazing. And then it blows them up and says, hey, look, this is what I make. This is what I do. And it shows their abilities and their artwork. And so being able to grow is one of the reasons why I am so excited that this community happened, because it wasn't just a post. It was, there's a meaning behind it. There's a meaning behind growing with each other, and being able to do that for other people too is just amazing. There's so many people that have made trades off of it. There's so many people that have, sold out their Etsy shops because of it. And it just makes me so proud that we have a community that is able to help each other and move with each other and grow with each other, and kind of see that and bring it to light, like, hey, we don't all have to be in competition. This is a community over competition is
Sure,
what it
totally.
needs to be. That mindset needs to be there. You need to surround yourself with like-minded people. And it's just so exciting that you're able to trade and see this network grow, and not only getting cool stuff that other people make, but being able to be like, hey, your art's amazing. You are worth something. You are amazing. Whether you make a freaking tumbler or whether you make painted rocks or whatever you make, like,
Totally.
your art is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And just like supporting other people, because there is so many people that do similar types of art, right? But then everyone also brings their own spin to the table. So kind of just like whenever I'm like talking to a friend or anyone, I like tell them like, I'm always in your corner if you need me, like I'm always here. But I feel like you're doing that kind of thing too. Be like, hey, even though, like you said, it's not a competition, like we're here to become friends. I would love to share about your business, you share about mine, and the community builds excessively. So I think that's such a creative thing. I think that is such an awesome like video to go viral, because you want people to know about something like that, because it's showing like your kind heart in your art, but also allowing other people to share theirs too. So I feel like that will continue to grow, and I think I'd love to talk with you further about that in some kind of collab in a way, because I think that is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you said, people ask me, would you ever trade with another crocheter? And I was like, absolutely. Because just because I can make an amigurumi doesn't mean I want to, and doesn't mean I'm going to make it as good as you. Like,
right. Or
if
use
that's
the same
your
yarn,
thing, I want some. Yeah, absolutely. It's, if that's your thing, you do your thing best, then I want to trade with that. Or, you make a beanie, cool, I want to trade with you. Just because your product is similar or the same to mine does not mean that we both cannot succeed. Like,
totally.
I would understand if someone was, not like-minded and was selling the same stuff and was like, no, you are this and you can't sell that here, and I'm selling this, I posted it first, I blah 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 blah. But when you're preaching community over competition, you got to realize that some people aren't going to be like that. And
most people aren't going to be like
yeah, exactly. I'm hoping that, now because of, COVID and everyone being able to have their small businesses, and how Etsy's blowing up and how all these other companies are blowing up that create platforms for small businesses, that hopefully that mindset can change a little bit. That mindset that I need to be a shark, I need to get out there, I need to beat you, I need to sell more than you. Yeah, exactly. It needs to stop.
Bothersome. Sucks. I mean, I think it's just like where we live though too, just like the US in general, and like especially in a lot of big cities, it's just so competitive. Like
Absolutely.
Who can make the most money, like gender roles and like all kinds of stuff, and it is a competition with everything, and it's just like ingrained in the minds of so many people.
You're like, why does it have to be? Why does it have to be a competition? Why can't we both succeed?
Yeah, and you literally can. Yeah,
absolutely.
And like you said, even if you and another crocheter were both given the same colors and like people wanted a beanie, right? There might be a way that you initially like learned to do it, but they wouldn't look the exact same.
Different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because they're coming from different people, and maybe like you have your own little, like your own personal touch, a special stitch. I don't know, but they wouldn't be the exact same. So there really isn't any competition because it's coming from you and it's personalized.
Yeah, definitely.
So Well, TikTok has been a big way that you've shared that you've blown up, and you said you also have experience in marketing. So do you want to just share how social media has like benefited your business and what you feel for you is like the best platforms to use?
Yeah. So absolutely. I did have a video go viral on TikTok, and but before that, I was also putting in work. I wasn't creating as much content as I wanted to be, but I was going live a lot, and I was creating connections and meeting friends and being a part of the community. And for the longest time, people didn't even know I crocheted because I would do it at craft markets and stuff like that. I didn't
Right.
sell online really. And so it was like a thing that I had to kind of transition my TikTok because I didn't want to get stuck in a niche, initially. And I posted different content, and I never posted about anything yarn related, anything my
Right.
business related. And so I was just like, this is my part to be me and this and that. But then I was like, why? This is part of me. Like, why am I trying to hide that? So it was, freeing to be able to be like, you know what, this is my business. This is what I do. I don't care what you say. This is what I'm going to do. And so I think I had to get out of my own way to move on to, social media and marketing with my business
Yep.
because I had only done it in craft markets and in person and stuff like that. So
Completely different to do
yeah,
it on. Mm-hmm.
absolutely. So having that blow up and being able to grind hard for a couple months and seeing results, and I was very lucky that my post blew up. I was extremely lucky because there are so many artists out there that are posting and content and all this stuff and just trying to get their work out there and trying to push it out there and trying to
Yeah.
make those connections. It's so hard. And
Yeah.
I was very lucky to go viral on a video that it pertains to my business, because I could have gone viral on a video of a dog, or
Totally.
it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with my business.
Sure.
So it's always hit and miss, but the push and the grind behind it is always going to be the same. You're going to
Right.
have to push for it. You're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to create content. You're going to have to create new ideas.
Be
You're going to
consistent.
have to create a community. The biggest part is to create that community. Join groups, find friends that are like-minded, that do the same things, listen to their experiences, listen to what they're selling, listen to their price points. But my
Yeah.
biggest thing is, don't undervalue yourself. Don't undervalue yourself or your products or whatever you sell, because you are making something that's worth something to you, to them, and you price it how you need to price it. Your time, your materials, your everything. You price it how you want to price it, and I guarantee someone out there will buy it and will understand your price point. And if they
Yeah.
don't, then they are not going to be a customer in the first place.
Right.
So that's a huge thing. So pushing in social media has absolutely changed my life. It's absolutely, in the past few months since the video went viral in January 31st, it's just been a whirlwind. I was shipping 6 weeks out. I was just,
That's amazing.
it was crazy. It was like, I did an 18 and a half hour live because I had to pull an all-nighter because I was buying on orders. Yes, girl. And
I
so
can't even imagine. Oh my gosh.
I was working hard and working my butt off for months. And I finally got to this area where I'm in a lull where I can build up some stock. But for months and months and months, I was putting in 18-hour days. Like, I was pushing hard. I was trying to get stuff done. I was shipping. I was, still marketing, still going live, and still doing this and still doing that. So it was
Right.
just like kind of a blur. But at the same time, I knew I had to strike while the iron was hot and
Absolutely.
push and, and try to make sure it's something that I build and continue. Like, I went viral for a video, but then I let it die down and didn't do anything about it. Like, that's just not what I wanted to do.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
pushing and striking while that iron was hot was something that I was really adamant about. And I was like, just get through it, just push, because it will be better for the future.
Totally.
And it was just, yeah, I just am so glad of the community that came from it.
Yeah, the consistency is everything, seriously. And when people see, like, on social media or, however you're going about promoting yourself and everything, that you are dedicated and want this and, put your heart into your work, then they want to follow you. Like you said, they want to be a part of your
Absolutely.
community. Because if you post that one video and then you're like, yeah, forget it, like another one will go
Okay.
viral.
Yeah.
It's not like people won't be interested, but it's definitely not the same. And I think that price point that you made is very valid, just because what you do is not doesn't take like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing like something big. And I
Well,
think for
even
so
if it
many,
does take 10 minutes, you need to know your value and what
yeah,
your product is worth,
totally.
materials times
Mm-hmm.
cost times time, whatever it is. And if you're afraid to price it too high because you don't think people will buy it, I'm telling you, people will pay for what it's worth.
Yeah, and
People
especially
will
if they
pay
see
for
that
it.
quality. Yeah.
Absolutely. They will, because not only are they buying your product, they're buying you. They're buying a piece of art from you.
Right.
That is my biggest thing. They're buying a piece of you that you put your heart into. So that is what matters. And people will understand your price points, when it comes
Mm-hmm.
down to it.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if you can see the comments, but there's been a lot of
Oh,
positivity. So proud of you, girly, being around those who support you. You'll be shared more light to persevere, to keep on trying, to keep moving forward, and just a lot of people that are like, that you're amazing and they love you. So you already definitely
lots
have
of
a big
love.
community. I can honestly say I love everything you've created, such variety and so unique.
Oh,
Lots
I
of
know.
good
I
stuff.
have the sweetest people that come into my lives, and the community is just amazing. And literally every day, like they're like, "You're beautiful. Hey, how are you doing, beautiful? Like, what you making today? Oh my God, that's gorgeous!" Like they're such like hype men in my comments, and I couldn't ask for anything better. Like, yeah, we get a random troll once in a while, but honestly, for the community that we have and everything, I'm so blessed. I can't even, with everyone being so supportive and being there for me, and thank you, Dina. But it's like, I don't know, it's so great that I can call it a community. It's not just like, oh, I have these people that come and watch me do what I do. No, they're people that interact with me and I talk to and just love to be around. And it's just like, I feel like I'm home in that community. So,
Yeah, well, they are all feeling it, and
oh
it's
my
like really
goodness.
cool when I get to read all of these comments too, because like, it's just everything that we're talking about has come to life because you work so hard and you've committed yourself and you're authentic and real, and people see that. So that's
Oh,
really
thank
great.
you.
Of course, you're welcome.
So
So
much.
if you, what'd you say?
I said so much love.
I know, seriously, seriously, so much kindness. I don't know, you can read them?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I did
Okay,
see it. Oh my gosh.
sometimes when I have a guest, they're not able to see it, and then most of the time they can, but sometimes it blocks it out, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So if you were just to describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be and why?
So I definitely really struggled with this one. I was just live on TikTok before I came on here, and to be honest, I was struggling with it, overnight, and just like, why am I so hard on myself? Why can't I just be like, you're this, you're amazing, you're this? And
Yep.
so I'm like, you know, why can't I do that? And so I definitely like let my people in my life know that. And I was just like, what would you describe me as? Like it got me in my feels. It got me feeling good, like boosted. I'm like, okay, like you really see me that way? Like it makes me feel great. And it makes me feel like, yeah, I didn't need to struggle as much, but I'm glad I kind of went through that to see and hear it from someone else. But
Of course.
the 3 words I guess would be, one would be creative, because I've always been doing something creative. I've always been doing some type of art or media or anything ever since I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah. And motivated, would be another one. I would say I'm pretty motivated to get things done. Not all the time, but I try to push and you know keep it going. And even it's okay to have bad days, and it's okay to not do anything for 2 days, and it's okay to
Yep.
do that. And then we're
100%.
hardest on ourselves, and we got to see that. But like, you know motivated, productive would be like what I would say for that one.
Hmm.
And hardworking, yeah, those all kind of fall into the same thing. Um, but I think the third one would be, I don't know. I really would say I hope I am helpful for other people. Just like they're saying in there, yeah, helpful, genuine, yeah. So I definitely I would want my third word to be helpful because I would love to help other people. Not
Hmm.
whether it's learning the knitting machine, whether it's learning a crochet pattern, whether it's learning how to blow up your business, whether it's learning, how to do anything.
Yeah,
I've always kind of been that person that's like, yeah, I'll share it with you. Like, let me show you
totally.
how or whatever. And so
Yeah,
I definitely would want that third word to be helpful to describe me, whether it is right now or not, or whether I have some work to do on that. Like, I really want to be that person that people can come to and say, hey, how do I do this? Or how do I get it to look like yours? Or how do I,
right.
do that, and I really want to be like, yeah, no problem. Like, this is how you do it. Let me show you. Do you need anything else? Like, did I explain it well enough? Like, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
so I would really like to be helpful with that. So yeah.
I think, well, I really like that you just shared that you were like vulnerable with this and like really had to think about it. That's kind of why I asked this question.
Yeah,
I didn't always ask it, but I try to now more frequently because I just think that oftentimes we are so hard on ourselves and we don't take a second to acknowledge our greatness, and we're all
absolutely.
different, but there's a lot of things that we have in common too. So I think that's really important because I'm not saying, okay, like, and you knew when I asked 3 words to describe yourself, I'm thinking positive, right? So like
Yeah.
it's first, and it's just supposed to be super encouraging and just allow you an opportunity to do exactly what you did and really think about it. So,
Yeah. I
'cause,
I definitely struggled overnight. I was just like, I kept thinking about it and I was like, how would other people describe me? And I just kind
and
of
that's a good
like,
way to think about it.
yeah, I was like, okay, how would other people describe me? But then at the same time, I was like, wait, I need to figure out what I would want to be described as.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, and so I was just like, it was a lot of thought and a lot of stuff to go in it. And I mean, I didn't have great answers, but that's what I strive to be. I strive to be helpful, creative, and hardworking. So,
Totally.
uh, if you put it out there, I'm a big believer. If you put it out there, then it'll make it happen. The universe does great things, and
For sure.
it's just you put the hard work out there, you're gonna get that back. So,
Hmm. Absolutely. Shelby's such a sharer, always willing to help out, amazing, friendly, and thoughtful, kind, considerate, generous. The list goes on. Funny, personable, giving, caring, hardworking, generous, and innovative.
oh my
A
goodness.
mentor, genuine, lots of good stuff. A great mom, real, that's huge, unique, inspiration. Oh, these keep going, and I didn't even see them.
Oh my
So
goodness.
generous, so many. Oh my goodness, you are amazing. I hope you get to see yourself through our. This is really nice. I hope you get to see yourself through our eyes a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are gonna make me emotional, and they
I know,
always
right?
do
It's
this. Like, ah, they're
and
so,
they
I
don't have
can't
to
believe
say it.
me.
That's why it's so cool to just have the support. And I think things like this, it's so, like you said, important to be encouraged. I had texted all of my close friends or just people that I know pretty well, and I was like, didn't even know context. I was like, can you give me 3 words that you think of when you think of me? Like, this was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And they all responded. And so on a canvas, I wrote them all down, and I have them up top on my desk. And if anyone said the same thing again, I underlined it. So the biggest one was passionate. It's underlined at least like 10 times
Oh
because
my
everyone said
goodness.
that like about me.
Yeah.
And but there's like a lot of other ones, but it's just really cool because I feel like a lot of times like we're working so hard and it takes a while to get to where we want to be. So sometimes we need encouragement from other people to see ourselves through and like know that we can do it and
Absolutely.
everything. So for me, that's like something,
Yeah.
asking other people and just kind of things I know about myself, but like to see it in the
To
arms of other
reassure it
people
and
is
have
really
that
cool.
reassurance. Yeah, absolutely. I could not have done any of this without all of this community and all of you guys in here that are just make me feel so loved. But I couldn't have done anything, without you guys, not only because you helped me through that 18 and a half hour live and you pushed me and you said, you can keep going and you can do this. And my fingers weren't even functioning by the end of it. And I
Right,
was
I
just like, I
cannot
can't.
imagine.
And so
Mm-mm.
it was like, without that push and that feel and that being feeling like I'm in a place where I need and want to be is just amazing. And having the community and with everyone, behind me, and it just makes me feel amazing that not only they like what I do and they like me, but I'm able to kind of hear some real stuff that I struggled with for a long time, and
Totally.
self, insecurities and stuff like that. So it was just like, yeah, it was amazing, and I have an amazing community behind me, and I want to thank all you guys for being there for me and just being amazing, because it's so humbling and it's so crazy that like you sit there and you'll watch me for hours and talk with me and say you're amazing and always hype me up, and you guys have nothing bad to say ever.
Right,
Like even if I'm like thrown up in a bun, no makeup, like nothing. Like
right.
you guys are so supportive. They're so supportive to the point where it's just like this is just where I'm gonna exist forever now.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with Des last week, who was my guest last week. He also has his own small business, Sad Boy Apparel, and he does a lot of stuff on TikTok, which is really cool, and has built an army, built a community, which is amazing. And we were just saying, TikTok just seems to be a very positive platform. Like, there's definitely
Mm-hmm.
people as you build that can be nasty, but like that's expected when anyone knows your name,
Yeah.
content, and what you're doing. But it just seems like such a positive thing, and I think that a lot of people connect with someone, and so they're consistently looking out for your lives, and there's millions of people on TikTok, and it's so addicting, and oh my gosh, like blah blah blah. But it people find who they like and who they connect with, and like who's gonna waste time connecting with or like vibing with for 18 hours. I still
Exactly.
can't imagine, but like someone that they don't like believe can do it, or someone that they don't like vibe with, like I said.
Yeah.
So and it's really cool for me to see all the support for you here too. Like, you're very loved and are making a difference, so that's really
Oh,
wonderful.
thanks. Yeah, it blows me away each time. I'm like, really? You like me? Like you like me? Like your kids know who I am, your husbands know who I am, like your
Right.
wife know like that just it blows my mind that I'm able to not only reach as many people as I have been able to, but like connect with as many people I've had,
Yeah,
built connections, and I have OGs in my lives and people that I've known for, only a few months, but they're family, and so it's just like
totally.
it's amazing and how everyone just shows me so much love, and they just want to make me cry all the time because I'm a
And
big wussy.
but it's just like really cool to find out too that there's other people out there that are willing to encourage other people, because there are a lot
Yeah.
of people that, I don't want to say a lot, but there are some nasty humans that just like, it's fun to tear people down. They're dealing with their own stuff, but it's not fine.
Yeah.
So to have built a platform that has such a
It's
big
positive.
community,
Yeah.
very positive. It's really good.
Yeah.
So is Snowy Aspen Creations your full-time gig as of now, or are you still working in retail or in something else?
So this has been my full-time gig for the last couple years.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I left retail when I purchased my house when I was 24. So almost 5 years ago, when I actually started crocheting and stuff like that. And I've had, a job here and there, but I've never really been happy in that kind of setting. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stay home when I have the chance to and be with my kids and watch them grow. And it kind of was like, okay, so I'm watching my kids and being with them and, having that, but what am I going to, I kind of had a freak out moment. I was like, what am I going to be able to provide for my kids? Like, as in college savings, as in, whatever. My daughter, when she has her quinceañera, mind you, she's only 6, but
Right, of course.
like, so like all of that stuff kind of hit me really hard this last year. And, I think everyone with the whole COVID and the no human interaction with other people, like I didn't see an adult for I don't know how long for a while there. And it was just like,
Yeah.
so I had a freak out moment and I was like, you know what? I need to do something. I need to just not make it a hobby, because this is what I like to do. I've stuck with it for a few years now. It's
You got
not just
this.
something that I've been hopping with, you know, and whatever. And it's just like, I need to do something. I need to push and make this happen because it's something that I like to do.
Totally.
And I kind of needed to have that freak out and and
Yeah,
depression and everything that came with it, you know,
100%.
to get here.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what it takes, you know? And then, but the fact that you've been able to figure it out so that you're able to like be home with your babies, but also like do your thing is really
Yeah.
cool, because you'll only continue to build. And then by the
Yeah.
time she turns 15 and they're going to college, because you have a son also.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. He just turned 12 on Tuesday.
Okay, I think I saw that. But they're so
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, so you'll just get to watch them grow, but also like watch yourself grow. And it's
Hmm.
really
It is difficult
special.
to kind of find that balance between family and running your own business, because it's so much.
Yeah,
You're literally, like I said earlier, you're literally everything behind the scenes.
yeah,
You're the cooker, the maker, the candlestick, whatever, you know, whatever the fucking saying is, excuse my language.
it's
But
okay. Okay.
like, you know, it's hard to discern for them that just because I'm not at a job 8 hours a day does not mean
That you
I
can
don't
hang
have a
out.
job 8 hours a day. Like,
Right.
you know, so it's been very difficult to kind of like the whole family adjust to that. Like,
Hmm.
hey, I need this time. You know, if I was away at work, I'd had 12 hours to get this done, you
Right.
know, that kind of thing. And I think a biggest thing that helped me was realizing that I was kind of failing at that at first because I was so busy. My kids weren't getting any attention. They voiced their opinions and I was just like, okay, I got to figure it out. And it was a struggle at first. And I think the thing that kind of started kicking it back on and getting that balance back together is whenever I would do lives, I would have Arabella, she would come down every like 20 minutes and we'd have a dance party. So we'd turn on a song and we'd just stand up and dance no matter what was I doing. Like we'd just stand up and my daughter and me would just dance out a
That's so
song.
fun.
And then she'd be like, okay, I'll be back later. And then she'd come back later and we'd have another dance party. And so that made me realize that that's something that she's going to remember. And that's
Totally. That's
something
so
that she's
fun.
going to bond with. And I don't want all the memories to be mom was always working and mom was this and mom was that. Like, I want to be able to have that balance. And now
Totally.
that I've gotten to a point in my business where I can have launches and drops on my time, then I'm able to have that balance
Yeah.
between my kids and work. So
Yeah.
it's been really great.
But it's such a learning curve and it takes time for you to get there. But then once you are there, it's
Yeah,
wonderful. So I
absolutely.
think, I don't know if any other guests that I've had have shared about that. I think like have had kids, but the way you
Hmm.
just phrased that was really good. I just, yeah. And you're, of course, like family's so important. Like you love your babies, but like you also are trying to build and work. So you do have to find that balance. I'm really glad that you
Yeah,
have, though.
it's okay to struggle through it. It's okay
Totally.
to struggle
That's normal.
and you know, it's normal and you neglect yourself, you neglect other people, but at the same time, like you're learning and growing and figuring it out. Like no one just said, "Oh, this is how you do it," and that's what you're gonna follow, and you're gonna be okay. Like you have to figure out as you go. Like you have to figure out how to keep those relationships when you're busy, how to keep relationships with friends when you're busy. Because I definitely struggled with that. I struggled with my kids and attention to their homework and details and like
Yeah,
bathing and like little stuff like that. Like it's okay to struggle through that because you have to struggle to figure out what works, and if you don't, then you're gonna be in that cycle of struggle.
for sure. And that's just also part, I'm not a parent at the moment, but just, part of being a parent. And it's just learning
Mm-hmm.
and figuring out that balance. So
Absolutely.
that's really important. So like I said, glad that that's all gotten figured out, but if it takes time and all, like all good things. So what are your maybe short-term or long-term or both, but goals overall for Snowy Aspen Creations for the future?
Yeah, so I definitely want to still get back into like the craft market stuff
Yeah,
because
they're so fun.
I'm a very people
Me too.
person and I
Hmm.
love connecting with people and I love building those relationships,
Yeah.
not only in the real world, online too, but like there's nothing like going to a craft fair and being like, in front of people and, you know, hey, ask questions, feel it, touch it, like, here it is, right here. Like, you
Right, it's
know, there's
real.
nothing like that. And so I definitely want to do that. I definitely want to continue being able to teach how to do stuff. I want to create more YouTube tutorials and help other people learn. And, you know, whether it's the knitting machine, whether it's crochet, whether it's business stuff, like I want to be
Yeah.
able to help people that way. But I think my long-term goal is to be able to continue to build this community, because if these people that are commenting and saying these things, if we had more people like this in all of these communities that there are, then we need to support each other. Like, just like you guys are all here supporting my fiber art business, you know, there's a Tumblr community like that. And if we can come together and be able to support each other like that, instead of having that divide and that clique, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, everyone can succeed. And there's room for everyone. Like you said, everyone makes everything different. There is room for everyone to
Yeah.
grow, you know. So I think my long-term goal is just to create a bigger community and being able to, you know, kind of bring them together and grow together. So
No,
yeah.
that's wonderful. Bringing people together is what the world needs, especially in a year, now over a year, right? That we've been so divided.
Yes.
I didn't even ask you this, where do you live?
I live in Colorado.
Oh,
I
cool.
was
Okay.
originally born up in the mountains by Breckenridge. I don't know if you know where that is, but it's like Vail, Copper Mountain,
Okay.
like where all the ski resorts are.
Gotcha.
That's where I was born and raised. I grew up in like low-income housing. My mom, you know, we were definitely not the like, oh, this is our second home kind of thing. We were
Yeah.
like the people who run the resort and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So growing up like that was kind of difficult. And then but just being able to grow up in a community as small, it was nice. But now I live here in Denver,
Oh,
in like Denver, out by the airport. But I definitely, it's totally different. And I just am trying not to compare my upbringing to my kids' upbringing, because
oh
it's
yeah.
so different. And it's just because it's in a different place. Like, yes, they have better than me, but it's like, I don't know. Growing up in a small town is so different than growing up in a city.
Sure,
I was
especially
able
like
to just
Denver.
run around and do whatever the hell I wanted and
Yeah.
ride my bike to the store and not
Yeah.
worry about anything. And I think here in Denver and this world now, we
It's
can't do that
scary,
anymore. Yeah. So it's
especially
just,
when you're little. You have to be so
yeah.
careful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Denver's one of the top places. I've never actually been. One of my best friends lives there, and I was going in December, but with my job, I couldn't because if I happened to have gotten sick and gotten COVID, then I would have been off for 2 weeks. It just like wasn't gonna work out. So,
Yeah.
but I hope to go before the end of the year. But I've been like wanting to go, and like when I move, that was like potentially my destination that I wanted to go to, just like the mountains. And I live in Maryland, so it's great, like near DC, New York, like Baltimore. That's a lot of fun stuff. But like I want to live in a city, but I just feel like Denver, Colorado, it's just like so different. Like
It
I get it
sounds good. It
completely.
sounds good, but
Yeah.
you definitely want to be somewhere up towards the mountains, Front Range or, something like that. But it's definitely like Colorado is based around tourism and stuff like that. And it's beautiful though. We're able to thrive on tourism and see it and, all these transplants and stuff like that, like that people who move here. And being a native, there's such a stigma about how natives are like, no, don't move to my state. You're ruining my state. Like, get
Yeah.
out, like that kind of thing. And I'm a native. We're like, yeah, like I'm cool. Like, whatever.
Come hang out.
And so I'm like, yeah, come hang out. Enjoy the mountains. They're beautiful. Like,
Right.
But it's definitely like, there's so much more to Colorado than just the mountains. There's, we have the Garden of the Gods. We have the plains. We have desert. We have
I want to see
like
it all.
anything, like all in one state. We have the sand dunes. Like, we have so much stuff in one state that everyone always associates Colorado with the mountains because it's so beautiful, but there's so much more to see. So I hope that you can come, someday, even though I'm a diehard mountain girl.
Yeah.
Um, but I hope you can come see Colorado and how it really is, and,
Yes.
being able to kind of not just be touristy.
I know the touristy, like there's certain stuff you have to do when you go to a new place.
Yeah,
There's
like,
also so
okay,
nice.
so don't get me wrong, I like some good touristy
Yeah,
spots, like
me too. But
the
I
the
prefer
giant
to
yarn ball on the side of the road or
right.
whatever, right? Like that kind of stuff. But like definitely do some of that stuff, but definitely like get some time by yourself. Go hiking. Do something,
Yeah.
that you want to do.
All I want.
Don't
I'm
just
like really yeah, I will let you know when I come.
Yes.
Hopefully before the end of the year, so it's very exciting.
Awesome.
So you're so amazing. We're kind of gonna like wrap up, and I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
But just wanted to make a couple announcements for people watching. So this is kind of new. I now have a YouTube channel also. So whenever a Chat E episode is finished, just if anyone missed it, it'll be posted on my Instagram page and on IGTV. Shelby will also be able to post it on her story. IG makes it really hard for you to like have it and post it on your page, but you'll be able to post it somehow. They make it really tricky. Anyway, but it'll also be posted on YouTube. So the YouTube channel is Elko Community Building. I'll post everything. So you can watch our chat on YouTube if you missed it or didn't want to watch it on Instagram. And also, so like I said, Chatty is an opportunity for people like Shelby to just share about their businesses, build community, get the word out. If anyone at any point is interested in being a guest on Chatty, or this is something cool and new, being a guest on Chatty, or just like knows another small business that they think, would help to get the word out and pump them up, I'm going to be posting my website in my bio. So you can go on there and click on the Chat E portion of the website, and there will be a form that you can fill out so that you can have me reach out to you in regards to potentially being a guest on Chat E in the future. So small businesses, young professionals, anyone who just wants to chat. It's really fun and chill and nice. And then Shelby, so where can people find you on Instagram or on TikTok, social media in general, I guess?
Yeah. So my Instagram is obviously it's snowy_Aspen_creations.
And I'll tag it on
Um
our chat.
yes, definitely. That is my Instagram. I have two TikToks. One is my business TikTok that I usually use to like read comments on live and stuff like that, which it's funny because my business TikTok isn't the one that blew up. It was my personal one. So
Always
I
right.
was like, of course. But you can find me on TikTok at Shelby10110, or Snowy Aspen Creations. On Facebook is also Snowy Aspen Creations, or facebook.com/Snowy Aspen. And I don't really post as much as I should be. And that's a big thing that I'm working on because I'm getting my website finished up. It's been a couple months in the works, and my website is getting finished. And you can also find me on Etsy under
All
Snowy
over.
Aspen Creations, all squished together. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to be able to be on all platforms where you can find me, and you can, be able to get in contact with me that way. And I'm live almost every night on TikTok, so
Someone
you
just
can
said
come check me out there. Oh,
late night, almost every night I watch Shelby TV.
oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
Yes, Dina.
So seriously, I'm so excited for you to continue growing your business. I'm gonna check out your Etsy shop and I will order from you. I always love to support my new friends and all the small businesses. So I will check everything out and want to learn more about this reusable water balloon thing.
Yeah, my reusable water balloon launch is actually Friday.
I work
So
with kids. Like I said, I'm a teacher
yeah.
and they would love that. I feel like that'd be so fun. So I might order a couple.
Absolutely. Yes. My summer launch should be coming shortly after that. And then I will also be doing a blanket launch as well. I've been kind of doing it in launches. I don't have a lot of stuff in my shop because once I post something, it's not there for very long. Like I have a couple things in there right now, but they're more like fall, winter stuff.
Yeah.
That's I think why I'm able to keep them in there right now. But just, make sure you check out my Instagram and my TikTok for when my launches are going to be, and you can definitely check it out on Etsy.
So exciting. Super good news. So the last thing, do you just have any tips that you'd like to share with people, whether they are going after starting a new business, a new small business, already have one, just like pumping people up and motivating them as we close out.
Yeah. So definitely be authentically yourself. Don't be afraid to show your true colors and, you know, how you are, whether even if you're shy, like let people know, hey, I'm shy, but I really want to show you my artwork, or I really want to show you this. Don't be afraid to push, and don't be afraid to remove people from your life or your situation, even if it's temporarily, but that don't support you, because
Yep.
you know what you're doing. Toxicity is, you know, something that will ruin you.
Like a
So
trigger.
make sure, absolutely. So make sure that you stay like-minded, focused, you're around like-minded people, you be yourself, you push hard. The biggest thing I think I wish someone had told me was it's okay to struggle through it. It's okay to, okay, I sold one thing, but why can't I sell anything else? Like, it's okay to have those moments, and it's okay to struggle through it. Then you just need to flip the same thing and make it sound different, or whatever you need to do, you know? So it's okay to struggle through it. Just know that there will be struggles around every curve. You just have to kind of push through it. And sometimes you even have to wait it out. And honestly, it is the best thing to feel like, hey, I did that. I got through that. Hey, I pushed through that. I made this happen. No one else. I did.
Yep, and you're totally
You know?
capable.
So, absolutely.
No, that's wonderful. I think we underestimate ourselves a lot, but if we work hard and we want something enough, then, you know, we can do whatever we want to do.
Absolutely. Yes.
So,
well, I want to thank you so much for having me. And
yeah,
I
of
was
course.
super excited. I was like, you know, I was like, okay, I'm hyped. And I was just like, got on my TikTok live, and I was like, okay, I need to do something, because I'm like all spazzing right now because I'm so excited.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's so fun.
I am so glad that you invited me to be on your show, and I wish you nothing but success, and I hope I get to see you more often and talk to you,
Yeah,
because you're
definitely.
amazing. And I am looking forward to your next Chat E episode.
Thank you so much. So now it's kind of trying to build it a little more. So I'm going to be doing Sundays and Mondays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, and we're booked for the next couple months, actually. So
yes, girl.
excited.
I know we were
Lots
having a hard time getting a spot in there.
I know. Oh, sorry about that. I know that was just.
No, you're good.
But now I have like a whole document. But my planning was just like, I was like, oh shoot, like just
like I said, it's okay to struggle through it. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Good. But have an awesome night. Thank you so much for everything. I will tag your handles and stuff on our chat. So anyone, I know you can all tell that Shelby's very personable and wonderful. So I know that if anyone wanted to reach out, she'd be there for you guys to chat. And I'm always here if anyone needs to talk about anything too. But have a great night, Shelby. Like I said, wish you the best too. Thank you for your support. And can't wait to see your business continue to grow.
You too. You're
Have
amazing.
a good night.
Thank you.
You so much.
Bye.
Bye.